else I have? And I'm a realtor as well, so I just wanted to mention that. Segueing into what I'm up against here as far as marketing, and I really cherish your input and respect everything you've been through. The tech world is a struggle for me. I'm older, I'm hanging on by my fingertips. There's a lot going on out there. I know a lot of it's necessary. I do have a person working with me. She's remote in Missouri. She does a great job. And, you know, I couldn't do anything without her. That's what it's like for me in tech, drinking out of a fire hose. The information coming to me is overwhelming for me. I know a lot of you people out there are very proficient at it and skilled at it. That's not me. I'm better at what I call the ground game. It's a football term, but I'm old school. I knock on doors, I shake hands, and I talk to people. That to me, and that's how I buy. I appreciate the hustle from anybody in business, and in small business, that's all you can do is hustle. You know, you're the CEO, you're the treasurer, you're the operations director, you're everything. So you're hustling. In order to thrive, you have to out-hustle your competition. I like to say hello and talk face-to-face. Is it efficient in this tech world? I'm hoping that you guys will be able to provide some input. Who is this? Does anyone know who this is? That guy is the Rainmaker. In business, I think you all know what the Rainmaker is. He brings in the money. Nothing, absolutely nothing, happens in a business till something gets sold. It's the most important part of business, whether it's goods or services. You need a buyer and you need a seller. Okay, this over here, does anyone know who this is? This is a shout out to my Boston roots. Matt Damon. Do you know what movie this is? The Rainmaker. I didn't see it. I don't know if anyone did, but I pulled that down. I thought it was very good. My philosophy, and I'll back up a little bit from what I'm doing in a marketing perspective. I've been working with Southern Stone Communications. Terry is here. There is some great people there. It's not just the radio. They will support you every step of the way. And I'm currently running ads on the radio. Some may say, and I mean it's a legitimate question, do people still listen to the radio? I still believe they do. When I'm in my car, I listen to the radio. Many of you probably program Spotify or whatever it is, but I still believe that my demographic skews older, so I think the radio is a sensible place, an affordable place to be. Again, the aforementioned social media. We have a plan. We're trying to execute it. I have limited staff. You know, I will talk to other tech people, and everyone, the first thing they'll say, you have to refresh your website. I mean, that's just the go-to phrase. And I believe it. I don't know. Our website, I just want it to be clean and informative. But one of the big things that I really cherish is the referral. We do a good job for people, and they tell so on, and they tell so on. It's like that old commercial. And eventually, hopefully, it become viral through word of mouth. Because we try to nurture our clients through a difficult process, and not to toot our own horn, but I think we do a very good job. We're empathetic, we're of their age, we know what they're going through. But for me, it's just getting the phone to ring more often, getting people to know who we are and what we do. And that's the identity crisis I have, right there. Who am I? Who are we? Do I do cleanouts? Do I help people sort? do a pre-sale prep. We'll paint, we'll put a shine on the house. As a realtor speak and say we have curb appeal. But we do all these things for our client to try and take the pressure off of the decision making that really hamstrings their ability to move forward. So that is what I'm looking for, is some ideas about how you successfully condense maybe many of your services into one type of messaging. And with that, I'm pretty much done, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, great job. Thank you very much for the presentation. I took notes. It's always a good thing, and I know many of us do. So now we're opening up the floor for who's going to be first. Guys, don't fight me. I see everybody. So this is, for those of us that are new, this is where we do a question and answer period to help understand the business a little more, offer some advice, some insights, and always in that will of trying to help each other out. So with that, let me start with Lori.
Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi,
Lori McMullen with your Daytona Regional Chamber. Enjoyed our brief chat a few weeks ago. I hope maybe you were connected to that STEM network I mentioned.
Yes.
Would love to invite you again to a business after hours. If you want to reach out to me, we have one coming up in February. And a case for support as to why you might want to consider joining our chamber. Prior to me coming on board in this role, I was Chief Development Officer for Aging True Community Senior Services in Duval County and beyond. And we had Meals on Wheels and everything else in between. And we realized that our target audience was the sandwich generation. And just statically, we get calls all the time. I need to get meals for my parents, or might be a clean out or whatnot, from all over the country. They call the chamber to find out how to connect to things. But beyond that, the bulk of our membership is a sandwich generation. So it's a good way to network and get the word out. I know you want to condense who you are and what you do, but calling it down and getting advice along the way and referrals, we're a good place for that. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Lori. That's the information I need. I like doing that. I'm more of a daytime meeting person instead of the nightlife thing.
We got those too. But 5 to 7
But I appreciate that. One thing I failed to mention, and I think it's very important how we operate, and I mentioned that I'm a realtor, and the realtor, and I think people would agree, there is work behind it that people don't realize, but we get paid very well on the realtor side. You got to hustle. There's a lot about marketing and what have you. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of responsibility. But also, there is money there. So that affords us to be able to help people to do other things down that line. The cleanup. We will do an estate sale for free, and we do a very good job with the estate sales. Our clients get to keep all of the revenue. So I just want to interject. I'm forgetting things, but thank you.
You're welcome. Plenty of questions. Don't worry about taking notes. We are filming the whole thing.
Oh,
You will
yeah.
get to watch it again and again.
Great.
TJ Billy, Daytona City Lifestyle.
Hi.
As you were going through your presentation, I heard a lot of the things that you do. What I didn't hear is how do you actually make money? And so, you just mentioned that sometimes you'll do an estate sale and they'll keep all the proceeds, but are you only making money on the real estate transaction, or are there services that Heritage Homes is providing that you do charge for? And if so, how are you doing that?
That's a great question, and I'm sorry I didn't explain that. It starts basically, the listing provides us the ability to discount or offer some services for free. If we don't get the listing, and we do jobs, they're priced accordingly. I'm not a great businessman, and I got to get better at that. And when we walk into a situation, sometimes it's sad, and frankly, and we just do what we can. But from a price point and a business standpoint, each service that we provide is a la carte. We will charge an hourly rate on the clean out. We will segue into an auction, which is a different price point and more staffing, an auction / estate sale. You know, the pre-sale prep that we do paint, cleaning, whatever we need to do. Again, that's a different rate. But again, the catalyst is the listing because of the money that we're able to earn. And we like to spread that out across and help our client. We're going to help. I mean, we want to make money. We want to be a successful business. But I'm older. I'm on the ground. I'm shaking hands. I listen to people. And yeah, we do what we can. We're not locked in. Everything's negotiable. Every situation is unique. There is not one situation that we've walked into that's cookie cutter. I'll give you a brief explanation. I was up in North Carolina with my wife and 2 of her friends. They're thrifting nuts. And I'm there, and boy, is it boring. 1 day, 2 days, and I'm ready to come home. Well, our friend got a phone call. A mutual friend of ours was selling their home. They had an estate sale, all booked, advertised on Facebook, what have you. The estate sale company came in, looked around and said, well, we've reconsidered. We're not going to do this. There's not enough money for us. This lady was 80. Her husband was 86. They were panic stricken. They didn't know what to do. They actually called my mutual friend. She says, I'm going to put you on the phone. Well, I was looking for an excuse to get out of North Carolina. Please. The thrifting days were not me. So I jumped on a plane. I came home. I met with her. We were able to scramble. We got the estate sale off. Lived happily ever after. But she wasn't locked into a realtor. So I not only got the listing for that sale, but now they have to relocate. So we know the senior communities, downsizing, less maintenance. They ended up buying new construction over at LPGA at 80 and 86. I'm like, that was the last thing I expected, but that's how we kind of operate. And when I said like it's the ground game and referrals, that's what I'm talking about. And it's good, but we want to scale, which is, you know, a new word, grow, whatever it is, we want to expand. We have the systems in place, and I think we'll be able to do, to help the community and, again, employ people and make some money. But thank you for the question.
Hi, Jen Rogers with Just Peachy Clean. First, I want to challenge you to change your limiting mindset because you just said, I'm not a good business person. And I challenge you to change that to say, yes. Because you are going to be a good business salesperson. When you're putting that out there, that breeds negativity. So I just wanted to say that first. The second thing is, are you guys the one that are actually doing the work for everybody, or are you contracting it out to other companies? What does that look like?
Another great question, and you well know. I guess we reside in the gig economy. It's part-time work. It's difficult to get people to do certain aspects of the job. We have a great staff that puts on excellent estate sales. The online auctions, perfect. I employ a person there. She doubles as my social media person. But we will use temporary staff to help with the cleanouts and the moves. We have permanent staff to do those other things. Pre-sale prep, we have painters, we have tradespeople that are professionals at it, that are in our Rolodex. And I don't mean real Rolodex, but they're in my CRM. And, you know, we piece it together, and people love to jump in on it. People like to help people. And when we tell them what the job is about, and, you know, if they can schedule it, they jump in. But we rely on the whole community to accomplish things. If you think of me as a project manager, however, I do the cleanouts. I help the people sort. I do everything until we get to the tech, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
The last thing I would say really quickly is if you can consolidate what it is that you do. Because you just spoke about it really well, and we have a good idea of it, but you need to consolidate that to where it's understandable in probably around a minute. Just so as people are referring you, they can repeat that easier.
Right. Yeah, and that's part of the dilemma. I've kicked around different ideas. You know, I want to land the plane. I don't want to bore people. You know, if I use some of these awkward words, realtor, people will just, you know, auctioneer. I mean, the industries don't have the greatest reputation, let's face it. So I try not to use those trigger words when I'm discussing what we do. But thank you.
So Rob McKenzie with Story Changes and Everything, I actually do exactly what you said. I help people figure out who they are, what they are, why they are, get it done and condensed. But my question is, do you do before and after photos? Do you do SEO? Because you say you want to scale, but how much business can you really handle? Because you have a very demonstratable business. And because it's demonstratable, if you use before and after photos, before and after videos, your social media feed can be absolutely huge. And then you take some posts and do a little bit of advertising. You don't do a lot because you're doing it very local. And you can really, really, really grow this really quickly. But the challenge is, can you handle that? Because you got to be able to handle the scale. And so, because with what I do, I would take you and just have every single thing that you do be incredible video and image before and afters. And that would build you up your reputation, get your Google My Business down, get out all of that. But can you handle it? That's the big question, because a lot of people think they can scale, but they don't really have the ability to scale.
That reminds me of the old commercial. I don't know if you people saw it. There was a bunch of techies surrounding a computer screen. And they were launching their website. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. They were all excited. And all of a sudden, 9 o'clock, beep, an order came through. And they're high-fiving each other. They're psyched and they're celebrating. And then in the background, you hear beep, 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 beep. And they looked at each other, just like you said. Now what do we do? Well, I'm confident that we can scale this. There's plenty of realtors would help me. I know that much. There are, the auction format, I have a great estate sale. I'm not worried about that. I am worried about the labor for the moves and the cleanouts. I have offered lots of money. I've posted on the different college bulletin boards, young people that want to make a few bucks, during school. It's very difficult to find the staff. That would be my main problem in the scale. But, money talks. So to scale up, to find tap into the right sources, I've tried churches, schools, offering, up to $35 an hour. And people would rather just drink coffee and play video games. And I don't want to stereotype, but that has been a problem for me, and I appreciate that.
Valerie Taylor. One of the better titles of my acquaintance is called The Stuff Cure. Friends of ours wrote a book. Their name is Mike and Betty Sproul. It's called The Stuff Cure. And basically it's what they did as a kind of primer for producing your stuff.
Well, that's awesome. I'd love to get my hands on that book. I'm all ears when it comes to...
Amazon.
Oh, what's Amazon? But I appreciate that input. I will definitely jump on that this afternoon.
Got the mic right here. My name is Scott Spear, and this is my first visit here. I own the Tech Tutor LLC, so I will talk to you after this because I tutor in technology, so you definitely need my help. But my question is, what are your previous customers saying about you, and where are they saying that at? Where are your reviews? Just nowadays, people really go off of reviews, and we can agree that the majority of your customer base is being helped by their like younger son or daughter, they're going to be looking at companies like you, similar to you, and going off of reviews. So I'm just wondering where you're at in your review collection and where they're being seen by your future clients.
Yeah, we've got to get better at that. I'm cynical on those reviews. You know, my sister got married. They have a different last name than Cronin, and they're telling everybody how great I was, and that is cynical and probably unfair. But no, we have great clients that I think would endorse us. There's still a little bit of humility there, asking someone will you tell everyone how great we are? I mean, they can speak the truth, and I think that would speak volumes, but yeah, we're trying to advance on all of these kind of techniques and proven sales methods. As far as the tech help, do you know anybody, or do you have any knowledge of Annie Sullivan?
No.
She was Helen Keller's teacher.
Oh.
She was an amazing teacher, and I hope you have the same skill set, because I am not a good student.
I have the same patience.
Good morning, my name. Good morning. My name is Bjorn. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm 47 years old. I just went through this service for my parents. Okay, Jim. I had to bury my father, and I had to go through this whole process. You on to something, don't change. It's going to take a minute, but there's a different age demographic that are coming into taking the responsibility of their parents. That's what, 40 plus, I don't know the name of it or whatever, but that's me. I'm in that position. I have relationships with ALFs in the area that are court ordered from trust funds. So we take, the economic aspect is not even a problem. The clientele that I have already have the capital for it, they just need the facilitation. So if you and I can get together with Mr. Andy of All Board Storage, we can tie in something together. So we're gonna facilitate to you, it's not a problem. We're gonna take care of this. We need you in the area, okay? And like I was saying, I have court order placement. So I need your service because I already have a clientele. So I just need your service so we can tie it in together. So I got you.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you, and I'm sorry about the passing of your dad.
Life, it happens.
What's that?
I love seeing the teamwork in the room.
Yeah. I want to revisit that comment at the end when I wrap up, because I'm saving it for the end. It's part of my marketing. And again, I'm old school. But go ahead. Someone else?
Yeah. Well, I'm Andy Clark with All Aboard Storage, and at All Aboard Storage, we used to use the slogan that you're welcome to use as our strategic partner. It's uncluttered homes sell faster. That kind of sums it up what you're doing. So, and we'd love to work with you, and we'll get together with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I have actually used All Aboard Homes. And I would love to talk to you after this. I appreciate it. Tom?
Hello. My name is Jared Dargish. Give Unity, and before I founded my own business, I actually was head of global business development for an infrastructure firm. So I did presentations like this all the time. So kind of a critique, kind of helping you on your presentation.
Please.
You kind of talked about your Boston area. I'd like to see you not only concise that, but lead how you go into your story to why you're doing the business you're doing. I didn't see really where you were like, okay, this is when I started seeing this problem. This is the research I did. Kind of what led you to be coming into the business, which would kind of put a nice bow on it. And people like stories. So like following you and people want to invest in you and buy into you and your expertise is kind of what I would like to see out of your presentation, and making it a little bit more concise and a little bit better bow on it.
Yeah, I was worried about landing the plane and missing some points. I mean, frankly, I got old. And I became more aware of people in my surroundings. That was one of the catalysts. Another catalyst, frankly, is money. An opportunity to keep the lights on, feed my family. I thought I could do that and help people at the same time. I neglected to talk about, I had an insurance company, I sold it. I had a title company, I sold it. So I was working, I saw the realtor whole dynamic at every table I was at. And every time I would read a closing statement, it's, you know, the insurance, well, that's $1,500, so I make $150. Title, that's $2,500. You know, by the time we pay everyone, maybe that's $100. And then I saw the realtor line down there. And I'm like, holy smokes. I mean, there's money there to be made if you do it well. Again, I said there was close to 500,000 realtors there.
Yeah.
But there are some really great realtors who are doing a great job in the community. So I appreciate it, though. I do have to get more concise. I've got to tighten it up. And that's the identity crisis I suffer from. But I appreciate the input.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great presentation, Jeremiah, over here. My name is Inez Nazario Vega, and with Business Essentials Virtual Assistants. And I do have quite a bit of real estate agents, real estate brokers, and property investors as my clientele. And they're all different. They all have different target markets.
Yes.
And it seems like yours is senior, the senior market. So my question to you is, how are you connecting with seniors and senior providers services right now? Because there's like a bunch of home health care providers, adult daycare. There are other services out there for the senior community, and you like knocking doors. You like that face-to-face civil life, and I think those would be great sources for leads.
And I agree. Thank you so much. And people have mentioned that. I'm actually going to a spin meeting this afternoon. And yes, those are things that are important. And there's opportunities there just to have a conversation. I host some, coffee and conversation at the local coffee shop. I am willing, there's no secret, I'm not reinventing the wheel at all. I mean, I'm a glorified garbage man, and I hate to use that term, but we're helping people to make decisions and try to make the transition, which is awfully difficult, a little less stress-free by kind of coordinating all of the various services that they would have to sub out. And, we get them into their new property. My estate sale people, they go in, they hang pictures, they bring flowers. We don't just toss them out. It's a start-to-finish operation. But as far as the seniors, and the gentleman out back talked about being 47, and he's absolutely correct. Children of seniors, a lot of the burden falls on them to make decisions. They love their parents. They want to help them out. We are trying through social media to hit that demographic. Another referral channel is estate attorneys and trust officers. Very, very difficult. I sponsored the Florida Bar Association estate lawyers out in Tallahassee. Spent a lot of money, went to a lot of social events, ran a lot of bar tabs. Everyone's great, but they're busy people. When they get back to work, crickets. But I get it. I'm not criticizing. I just took the wrong approach. It's the gatekeeper within the office that will open the door for you. And that's where the ground game comes in, knocking on the door. I'm not looking to speak to the attorney or the trust officer. I want to speak to the person who actually runs the company. Nurses, they do all the work, the doctors come in and close. Well, the gatekeeper, they're in there doing everything. And the lawyer will come in and do what he has to do. And he'd do it well. But that's what we're trying to figure out, how to get in front of these different age groups and professions. and it's a hit or miss thing. I've wasted some money, I'll be honest with you. I love this opportunity here. I think most of you are in the same kind of situation, small business, do what it takes, whatever. There's no job description in a small business. It's whatever happens, various duties as assigned. So yeah, I appreciate the input. I really do. It's kind of why I agreed to speak, because I don't do this very well, and I don't do it very often. But I feel comfortable here in front of all of you because I can identify with you, and I give you all the credit in the world. You're entrepreneurs. You've taken a challenge. You bet on yourself, and that's to be commended. And thank you so much for being here.
Yep, this is Mike Solhant of Daytona Beach, and I totally get the struggle of how you're going to be across all these social media platforms and reach different people with different messages. And you're kind of looking, you're not really a real estate agent. I know you're still using that, and people are saying that doesn't sound good, because that's not really, I think, what you're trying to be. You're trying to be somebody who really helps people. And I think that's important. I mean, it's don't shy away from promoting that as who you are. And I think in terms of the social media, you just have to go where each group is. But you had a slide that was perfect. Grandma, you're never going to use this stuff again. Everybody knows somebody who's in this position. And I have cleaned out 2 homes, so I totally understand. And I can tell you most people would not be able to step in and do what's coming. They just don't know what's coming. So the before and after certainly will help with that. But you're not looking for the estate lawyer who's going to handle it. You're not looking for the older person. You think they're your client, but they aren't. I'm your client. I'm the person who needs to see that, oh, this is coming. And sometimes way before you think. My husband's mother passed away unexpectedly at 50. And I don't want to say she was a hoarder, but she'd been sick for 2 years, and she was a collector with a lot of interest. So one room was practically hoarded out. And, we have a running joke about the first estate sale because she was the professional ghost hunter. She cleaned up cemeteries. So we literally had to start making piles of cemetery pictures, swords, ghost hunting equipment. So the first sale in the penny saver literally was medieval, fantasy, paranormal rubber duckies. So you've got to be telling those stories of what it's really like, because people just don't know until they go through it.
You're absolutely right, and thank you. That's what actually makes the job interesting, because each client has a different story. I mean, I've worked with hoarders in Miami. World War II guys, which is one guy, he was a live history book. It was just an amazing experience for me to be working and helping with the guy. So it is interesting. Behind every client, there's a unique story. And that to me is fun. Even the tough stories or the people, if we can maybe make it a little easier, and I think you would all agree, that's pretty gratifying to help somebody, get over a bump or something. So the job we have, I really like it. I have, people working with me. They're partners. They're not employees. We work together. It takes many hands to make a success. So they're all co-workers, and that's why I think I'm going to mention, what I said earlier. I'm old school. I knock on doors. The referrals from the older generation is real. In our estate sales, people will ask how we do it. Can they do it? We get a lot of referrals at the estate sale. But you're all business people, so I can talk to you candidly and transparently. You all want to make money and keep the lights on. I would gladly give $1,000 to make $5,000. Who wouldn't do that out here? That's a good investment. I'm deputizing everybody in this room who knows somebody that needs help to partner with me, because there is money there. And again, I had a slide up there. When it rains, I want everyone to get wet. So we have a very generous referral plan for people. We need a name, you can get in on the conversation, it's a family member. We wouldn't have the job without you being a rainmaker. And I would like to reward anyone, and I do reward people. A lady in my building referred a client. And I gave it to her, and she promptly donated it to charity. So that was a win-win. But I know you guys have businesses. So the side hustle, think of it as, a side hustle to help family or friends. And with that, I don't know if there's any more questions.
One more here.
Yep.
So, I've been listening to you, I don't know, for the last 45 minutes. This is not your first rodeo here. You've had a lot of other businesses that you've been running. And your personality is great for the door knocking, for the meet and greet, for the handshaking. And I agree 100% because for a lot of your customers, that is what they need. But it sounds like, and I looked at your website, you've got a team behind you. You've got some smart people on the technology side that seem to know what they're doing. So tell us about how many of these deals you've already done in the estate sales / retail, whatever you want to call it. How many have you done so far?
I think we've probably, various stages. They're not all listings, everything. We've done cleanouts, we've done many estate sales, we've done the listings, I'd say a total of 50 clients now that we've worked with, and that's just an estimate. I can check my elaborate filing system and get a number, but yeah, we've helped some people in the community, and not just this community, although I'm really tightening up our area. I was in Miami, I've been in Naples, I've been all over the state. And I get myself down there, Two Sisters, Hoarders, they were really in a tough spot. They didn't want me to throw away a piece of paper. So when they would go into another room, I'd just throw a little trash in a bag. And then I'd take all the bags out. Well, we left the bag, the sister went through it. I came in the next morning, she was on the couch, crying and saying that she trusted me. And that broke my heart. Because I was there to help them do something they couldn't. And every situation is unique. So yeah, to land the plane on that question, yeah, probably about 50.
Well, I want to thank you for your presentation. Thank you. Let's give another round of applause. And in true 1 Million Cups fashion, the last question is always asked by the organization. What can 1 Million Cups do for you?
You've actually provided a forum that is second to none. Speaking with like-minded individuals who are trying to lift up and support the community, such as 1 Million Cups does, it's fabulous. And I really sincerely thank you for the opportunity to let me speak today.
Welcome to the 1MC family.